Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I'm excited to do. It is going to be a trying new makeup. I feel like I've gotten so many products recently. I really wanted to sit down and try out a bunch of them with you, but it is also going to be the 21 question makeup tag that was started here by Allie Glides. Thank you so much to Allie for tagging me in your video that you wanted to see me do it. I've had it on my list and I needed to get it done, but I thought I could combine the two videos because there's just like so much makeup, so much to talk about, so little time, so let's put it in a video together. I will have Allie's original video linked down below. I'll also link some other videos that I've seen from other creators that have taken on these 21 questions. I have some new products here from ColourPop, their Wild Child palette, the new NARS soft matte blushes, and also lip colors, the new Fenty Beauty foundation. I'm using some Auric in today's video, a few other new goodies to share with you, so let's go ahead and get started. Hello. Okay, let's get started. Starting off with my face, I'm going to use this e.l.f. Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer. I have a whole video using a bunch of products from the e.l.f. Mint line. This primer I was really intrigued about because off the bat, and what I said in that video, was that it reminds me of the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip. So I want to keep testing it out to see if I think we have a potential dupe on our hands. To get started with the first question of the tag, that is, what is the oldest makeup in your collection? And I was like, oof. So I used to be quite the hoarder. Quite the hoarder. I've been trying to do better at that. I've been trying to have better, more successful declutters and just doing better at clearing things that I'm not using in my collection. So I don't really have a ton of super old products. I feel like probably the oldest ones right now are my MAC lipsticks. Velvet Teddy is definitely really old. I got this, I think I had a friend send this to me, right? Kelly? Kelly? I think Kelly sent this to me like years ago when we were like first starting YouTube. So I have had this one in my collection for a very long time, and this other one is Age Sex Location. Who remembers me in Age Sex Location? I had a deep love for this lipstick. So I feel like my MAC lipsticks are probably pretty old. Like, I probably should declutter them. I don't really know why I haven't. Question number 2 is, what is your most recent makeup purchase? Tis a brow pencil. This is from Arches and Halos. It is their micro defining brow pencil. I went to Target the other day and I picked that one up. I really like that brow pencil. I feel like I hear nobody talk about it at all. It definitely reminds me of Benefit Precisely My Brow. It's just a little bit cheaper. And the line is available at Target. I'd highly recommend them. So I'm almost finished with my one, so I thought, let me just go ahead and repurchase this. I'm going to use a bit of my Auric Glow Lust, and this one in the shade Selenite. And I'm going to use this all over my face because I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty Powder Foundation, and I'm going to use this alone. Like, I'm going to do my concealer, of course, but I want to use this foundation just by itself. I've mostly been using it to set my foundation, but I also felt like I still wanted a little something for my skin to give it some glow before I put on a matte powder. I'm just gonna add this all over my face first. I'm gonna use a new brush from Sigma. I have a few new brushes in this video from them. This is the Skin Perfector F67. I thought it looked good for like foundation and, you know, something like Auric. Again, I have a whole video testing out the Auric products and I have been so impressed. It's very rare that I do my makeup without using some sort of Auric. A lot of times it is the Glow Lust, but I've also been using their Smoke Reflect shadows a lot. Totally did not expect to enjoy these products as much as I have, but if you want to see my full video on the line, I will link it in the card. So number 3 is, what is the first makeup product you ever used? I can't quite remember like specific products. I used to spend the night at my grandma's house. She had such beautiful makeup. She had like the beautiful like powder puffs and just everything. I just remember everything being so classic from my grandma. But I remember she had, I think it was from Revlon. It was in like a red tube, red packaging, and it was for her beauty mark. She would always do a beauty mark. And So that meant I always did a beauty mark. Duh. And I remember just thinking I was like the coolest whenever I did my beauty mark, or whenever I would use her powder, or even just not even like needing to put makeup on, but just using the powder puff, like pretending I was doing something cool. I mean, I thought I was pretty snazzy. So, but I love one thing from my grandma too, is whenever we would spend the night and we would like put our makeup on and stuff, she would always make us take it off at the end of the night, and we would put our Vaseline on together. She always said you can never sleep in your makeup, and I just, even through college, like I was always that person that brought makeup wipes everywhere with me, because I was like, my grandma said you can't sleep in your makeup. Like I'll always remember that. Concealer, I'm going to use my one from NARS, their soft matte. I use the shade Creme Brulee, and I'm really trying to get better since struggling with acne, which I feel like I'm having a pretty decent few days here, which is good. I'm really trying to be more aware of like not dipping back into products. I was really focusing that on skincare, and then I remember like one day I was going into my concealer and I dipped my brush in and then put it on my face and then dipped my brush in, and I was like, wait a second. Like the things that you just over your head. So I take one of these Sigma skincare brushes. This is just their spatula. I mean, you can use it for skincare, or it's just super easy. You just take a little bit of concealer. I'm just gonna add it to my hand. I really don't need a whole lot. And then I take a brush. This one is from Sephora, the 57. I've talked about this brush forever and ever and ever. And then I just use that to cover up any spots. Question number 4 is, what is a makeup trend you used to love but you now hate? I had a hard time with this one, and I've been watching other people's videos and seeing like what everyone said for their answers, and I mean, I'm kind of like what Allie said, like hate is a strong word. I don't know like how many things I really hate, but I decided to just be able to tell a funny story because, you know, I love storytelling. So the trend that I hate is how I used to do my makeup in college, which I actually have a video on YouTube. That was like a trend for a while of like how I used to do my makeup. Like I think it was how I did my makeup in high school, and I was like, yeah, no, I have to do college because I didn't wear that much makeup in high school. In college, one of my favorite things to do for eyeshadow, this is like wickedly embarrassing, but again, I'm just using powder foundation, so I feel like I'm kind of going heavy on the concealer, but we will also be talking more about concealer in this video, so just so you know, we're not done talking about concealer. I am going to use a little bit of my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind just for my under eyes, because this is a bit of a lighter shade, so I can't really use it to spot conceal. And the NARS Soft Matte is truly the best for spot concealing if you have acne. I mean, or redness, anything. Like, I highly recommend the NARS Soft Matte. I bought the Maybelline for the video where I tried makeup my subscribers hit pan on or used all the way up. And I used to love this concealer, but I'm telling you, I feel like it's kind of dry. Like I was saying with how I did my makeup in college, one thing that I would do, I would buy this single from CoverGirl, and I bought it so many times. It was a single eyeshadow. It was a really light shimmery shade, and I would put that all over my lid, pretty much up to my eyebrow, which I had no eyebrows because you didn't have eyebrows back then. That wasn't the cool thing to do. And then I would take a Maybelline eyeliner in blue, like their navy eyeliner, and I would smudge that all along my lash line. Not do a wing. No. I would just literally just line from the inner corner to the outer corner of my eye, and then I would wait for it to smudge, because I thought it made a really cool look when the eyeliner would smudge with this like lighter shimmery eyeshadow, and they would kind of mix together to make their own shade. And I thought, wow, I am an artiste. I thought that was really incredible. I thought I looked great. And sometimes I would put it on my lower lash, or not my lower lash line, but I would put it, yeah, my lower lash line. I would put it underneath my lashes, but I would only go halfway. I remember reading in a magazine, there was some sort of reasoning behind you would only bring your eyeliner halfway. So I would do that. I'd go from the outer corner to about right here with the blue eyeliner, but then I would smudge it a lot. I was just really into like smudged makeup. I'm not really sure what that was supposed to signify, but yeah. I would also wear my bronzer everywhere, preferably an orange bronzer. Preferably an orange bronzer. and I would put that all over my face because I also read in a magazine. This is the dangers of, you know, growing up and being in high school and college during my time, because we didn't have videos to also show us. We were just reading in magazines and then interpreting what we thought it meant. And it said, put bronzer where the sun hits your face. And I was like, the sun hits all of my face. So I put my bronzer, literally bronzer, as a powder foundation. Like what I'm about to do with this Fenty, that is how I treated my bronzers when I was in college. So I'm just really glad that we've moved on from that. This is the new Fenty Beauty powder foundation. So I got the shade 220, and I felt like when I swatched this in store, I had, you know, an employee helping me, and we swatched it on my neck, and I was like, that looks pretty good. And she's looking at me, she's like, that's like one of the best shade matches. And it was the first and only one we swatched. And even though it said that this one was in the warm category, I was like, I don't know, I feel like that works. And I'm usually more neutral or cool, but I find this to be really yellow on me. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. So, but I wanna try it. Like I said, I've never tried it just using this. I've been setting my foundations, and I know you can use this as a powder foundation. I just don't often do that. But I thought, let's give it a shot. I'm gonna use another one of those new Sigma brushes. This is the Airbrush Kabuki F85. So if my foundation looks really yellow, I just don't know what to do about that. I was like, I knew it too. And I even told her, I said, I'm usually more neutral or cool. Yet the swatch just looked so great on my neck. So I'm like, what happened here? So again, I don't really use this a lot for foundation. So I'm just gonna kind of take my time and work on building it up. I've liked it so far though. The shade I can't get over. And there's been a couple of times where I'm filming and I'm like, why does my face look like that? And I'm like, frick, it's the Fenty foundation. Like, I knew I shouldn't have got those shade. On to number 5. What is a makeup trend you used to hate but you now love? I wrote down a few of them. One I wrote down was just like doing eyebrows. I never did my eyebrows. My first like full year on YouTube, I did not do my brows, and wow, I made people so upset. Now, it's not necessarily that I enjoy like doing my brows, but I like the way that they look sometimes. You know, I'm not always great at them, but sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, like I feel like it just makes things look a little bit more put together. So I don't mind it. I'm not like as against it as I once was. Also inner corner highlights. I was not a fan of an inner corner highlight for years. I was like, I don't understand why people do these. Like, what is this? And now I always have an inner corner highlight. So that's kind of funny to me. Then lip gloss. Also was not a fan of lip gloss for the longest time. Like I have so many videos of like, how do people wear lip gloss? I just don't understand. Now I'm like, I love lip gloss. So since that shade is pretty yellow, I don't want to use it on my under eyes. So I'm going to use my Almay powder to set my concealer. All right, question number 6 is, what is your favorite step in a makeup routine? I was trying to think of like, what's my absolute favorite step? But honestly, for me, when it comes to like doing makeup, is just the final piece coming together. The step, not even like the very last step, like my setting spray or my lip gloss or whatever, but the step where you're like, there it is. Because like right now I'm looking crazy. This is not how this is not our final look. Like, you know, a lot of times with makeup, things look a little out of whack until a certain point, and then you're like, oh, now it's starting to come, like I see what we're going for here. That's the step. That's the step. Because I have had so many times where I've started to do my makeup and been like, I need to stop. This is not going well. Like, what am I doing? And I'm like, no, you have to keep pushing through because it's gonna look crazy for a while, but you just gotta keep going, and then it works out, usually. I mean, there's definitely been times where I get done and I'm like, still don't think this is what I was going for, but usually there's that step where everything comes together. That's what I would say is my favorite. Do a quick contour with the Balm Oliver. I'm gonna use my Nakia Joy. This is technically a bronzer brush, but I don't really love it for bronzer. I find it more suitable because it's the way that it's shaped here. I just feel like it's better for like chiseling versus like sweeping bronzer on, in my humble opinion. But you know, they're makeup brushes. You can do whatever you want with them. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of a contour here. All right, what are we on? Number 7, a makeup product that I can't live without. That would be concealer. Like how I mentioned earlier that we weren't done talking about concealer. it would definitely be concealer. And this is something that I said even when I had clear skin. Like even when I had no skin issues, I didn't have hormonal acne, I would typically say concealer and eyeliner. And I still do enjoy my eyeliner. I like wearing eyeliner. But even more so now, especially for me, is concealer. I used to like it before because I thought it helped make me look more awake and like brighten my face. Now I still like it for that, but I also obviously enjoy it for being able to cover some of the areas of my skin that makes me not as confident as I want to be on a daily basis. So I would still say concealer. Okay, well, I did my brows off camera. I used the Gel pencil and I actually officially finished my other one. I knew it was getting close, but that's done. And then I tried to do a nose contour. I was following a TikTok tutorial that I saw. Not really sure though. I'm not really like a big nose contour person. I try, but it doesn't always work out the best for me. Okay, so I'm actually gonna do my blush first before I do my bronzer. Normally I would do bronzer first, but I have the new NARS blushes, which I'm so excited about. NARS sent these over and I was like, score! Because I had this one sitting in my cart at Ulta. So I'm very excited to try out their new Air Matte blushes. So I chose out the shade Freedom. I feel like that looks really pretty. So I'm super stoked to try these out. So because this one is a cream product, I figured it might just be easier for me. You guys know I'm not the best at creams. And truly, I feel like I just cannot use brushes with cream blushes. Say that 3 times fast. But I feel like I cannot. So I used the sponge that I used for my powder for my nose contour. I just went and got it wet. This is from DSMD Shop. Highly recommend their sponges. These are so, so good. So I'm just going to try to dip this in. Kind of hard to do this because it's like so small, you know, but I'm gonna try to dip this in. Oh dear, okay. Things might be happening. And then start to blend that onto my cheeks. I've been really enjoying the blush from Rare Beauty also, which I'm kind of shocked about because I did not like their first one, but the one that came out in their Stay Vulnerable line, I've been really enjoying it. I'm actually filming a ranking my latest hauls, so you will see the sponge, some Rare Beauty products, Nakia Joy, my Sephora order, quite a few Natasha Denona products. So I'm filming that once this gets done, and I think that video is actually going to go up first, so it should be up now. So I will link it in the description box if you want to check out my full reviews on those. But as always with my new makeups and hauls, I always come back to review everything to let you know how I'm feeling. So besides like not being able to get this out the easiest, again, maybe if you use a brush it'll be easier, but I just feel like brushes are not the way for me to do that. I think this is going well. I think that looks like a nice shade. We'll see how it lasts, but I feel like that looks pretty good. Okay. I was like oddly excited for these NARS blushes. Like I don't know why. Like I feel like it was because I love the concealer. Like I was so excited about, I'm like, what is that? But for my bronzer, I'm going to use one side of these new blush and bronzers from Ofra Cosmetics. I've been really enjoying these. The one I want to try today is in Unit. So I'm just going to use the bronzer side of this. I've also been using Crew quite a bit, but I think that these are so beautiful. You know I love these, the bronzers and the blushes from Ofra. Don't have to tell you twice. But I'm going to use this brush from the new Sigma line, the F29 HD Bronze. I didn't even know it was their bronzer brush. I just thought, hey, that looks like a nice bronzer brush. Normally bronze first, but I just, sometimes with cream products, I get a little freaky deakies. And I can always come back to add more blush if I feel like I need it to, but... Ooh. Oh yeah, this is like... Right now, I feel like it's starting to come together. We're getting there. Obviously, we don't have anything on the eyes yet, but like, we're starting to get a makeup look. Okay, let's answer another question though. So we have, what sparked your love for makeup? Honestly, I think it just goes back to that being that little girl playing with my grandma's makeup. I always just thought that was so fun and I wanted to be like her. So I thought that was obviously really cool. And I think as I got older, I thought it was interesting because I could tell that it was a way that made me feel creative in a way that I never felt creative. I've never been artistic. I can't draw. I can't visualize anything in my mind. So as I got older, and especially as the internet grew, and I could see video tutorials of makeup, it gives me a sense, because I am a creative person, I'm an author, I create characters and their stories and their scenes. I feel like doing makeup is just another way to be able to express creativity, and that to me is really cool because it's something that I feel like I wanted. Like, I had dreams of being, you know, a fashion designer when I was younger, but then I realized I can't physically draw, nor can I really visualize or even be able to explain to someone what's in my head. I cannot make that vision come true. So I think that was like really upsetting to realize about myself, and like no matter how hard I tried, like it just wasn't gonna happen for me. So I think being able to bring that into the makeup world, it gives me that creative sense that I feel like I always lacked, but I always wanted. Pause here and spray my face. I do have the new Benefit, the Professional Super Setter. I almost said spreader, oh my god. Some of the words that we've been using the past year are just words that like I never thought I would hear, or hear as much as I hear. But this is a long-lasting setting spray. So sometimes when I get to this point, especially because I have quite a few powders on, I do like to spray before I start my eyes. So Benefit sent this over, and a lot of people, this was one that got a lot of requests to have reviews on. So I'm just gonna go ahead, let's look at the spray. Oh, okay, okay. I actually really like that. It's like a very thin, lightweight spray, yet I can still feel it. Like, it still feels like it's doing something. Ah, okay. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. And then for my palette, I've had quite a few new ones come in from ColourPop over the past few weeks. I have a look with their Valentine's collection on my Instagram Reels and also on my TikTok. But I got in a few collections, but I feel like the one that I've seen the most that people have wanted to see is with the Wild Child, which almost kind of surprised. I didn't really think it would be this one, but I'm excited for it because I think this palette looks really beautiful. I love these tones. These are so me. I love just a good old brown smoky eye. It's like just like one of my old staples. Go ahead and do one eye off camera just because that kind of helps me, especially when I am trying to talk and like answer the rest of these questions. I think it'll just help me to already have a map instead of like sitting here trying to think of things to do. So 1 second, please. Okay, I'm back. I'm really liking what we have started on this eye, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the same on the other. So first, picking up one of my new favorite brushes, the Sonia J Mini Booster that I got in my Beautylish bag. I'm gonna get the shade Hard to Get right here. And I'm gonna start to create the outline that I want on my eye. So a little bit above the crease here. I'm gonna kind of swoop it out a little bit and then also connect it with the lower lash line. So just kind of like slowly starting to form. This shape is all. Question number 9 is, what is one of the worst makeup looks you have ever done? I mean, I have plenty of those. I mean, literally, did you just hear how I used to do my makeup in college? Like, pretty bad. I have plenty of my early YouTube videos that were not cute, but you know what? I really just don't mind that. When I first started Instagram and focusing on beauty, it was just such a, I know this makes me sound like so old and everything, but like, it was such a different time where people were just genuinely excited about makeup. And I feel like some of that has definitely been lost over the years, because like you could post a super up close shot of your eye with not blended eyeshadow and a shaky winged liner, and people were like, girl, you're on fire. I love that. And it was so exciting, and it was such like, what a time to be alive and on Instagram. Like, it was so exciting. And you know, sometimes in my memories I'll have some of those photos pop up and I'm like cringing now, because now it's like, if you're not absolute perfection and constantly doing something that's the most over the top beautiful, like even sometimes being on TikTok makes me sad, because I'll make the videos where, you know, you start off like looking like a slum, and then you do like a cute transition or whatever it is that you want to do, and then you're all done up, but it's like the ones that go viral on TikTok and the ones that the people are most excited for is when a person looks completely different from what they actually look like, which is awesome. Like if that's how you want to do your makeup, so freaking cool. Like do whatever you want. But it makes me really sad that I really don't see viral transitions where someone still looks like themselves. They just happen to have makeup on now. You have to look like a completely different person. Like it makes me kind of sad at the same time that now I feel like doing your makeup means you have to turn yourself into a different person, and I just don't believe that. Pick up some of the shade Ground Crew with a BK Beauty 202, and I'm just gonna pretty much just do the same thing and start to blend these colors together. Still laugh at my Halloween, my soul Halloween video that I did where I was a glam werewolf. Yeah, that was something. One time I did festival inspired makeup. Not my greatest look either. Say, oh, I lost my ears. I had a snack. I'm not gonna lie to you. I went and had a little snack. So I pitched my ears at one point, but I should probably go get those back. But I just love a good matte brown smoky eye. Like when I did all of the mattes, I literally sat here and was like, kind of just want to keep it like that. Like I loved it so much, but I was like, keep going. Keep going, it's not enough for the internet. And then I'm gonna pick up the shade hashtag Spotted. Why I'm trying to act like I'm in Bridgerton all of a sudden, I don't know. I could have got the 201 from BK Beauty. Okay, question number 10 is a favorite makeup look you've ever done. I have a couple photos that I'll add in here of looks that I've done in the past that I thought were just like really fun and I need to do them again. And one is an all matte eye look, because I'm telling you, like I love that. But I was following a tutorial per usual. I want to say maybe it was like Nicole Guerrero. It was several years ago. But I was following, I think it was Nicole Guerrero's tutorial. I'm just using this shade at the top to blend everything together. This is the lightest shade, so just taking time to blend that with a larger brush. And really kind of bringing it out, how I kind of brought it out here, just kind of bringing it out. But I remember the technique, like you use tape and I mean kind of similar to what I'm doing today a little bit, but you just slowly layer on different tones of browns or just whatever matte shades that you want to use. And when you peel the tape off, you have like the sharper line. I thought it came out so good. I thought it was super pretty. And even in that photo, like I thought my highlight was pretty, to my earring, to my curled hair. Like that was like, it's a photo that I still keep on my phone. I have a folder of like makeup inspiration, and there's other people in there, but then there's also makeup looks that I've done that I'm like, you know what, I was really feeling myself then. But that's one. But then there's another one where I have a very bold wing and this cool toned pink lipstick. I believe it's Rosebud from Dose of Colors, and that's a photo that I still look at and I'm like, dang, I was feeling fierce that day. Like again, I feel like back in the day it was almost more, I don't know if I want to say more fun to create makeup looks, but it felt like you had more freedom to just not have this kind of like perfection attached to you. Even, you know, as someone who does more neutral looks or more simple looks, you know, I'll get the comments of like, you're so boring, you don't do enough, why are you not like so and so, she's so this and that. And it's like, what? Like again, like if I was just doing my makeup today, I would literally just leave that matte brown eye look and I would be so happy. But because I'm on camera and because I'm on the internet, I feel like I have to boom, 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 boom. Which sometimes that's a nice thing. Like sometimes it's nice to push yourself and all, but sometimes it's exhausting being on the internet. I mean, it just is. Like, and I feel like especially with the year that we're in now and just how times have changed with the internet, it just, sometimes it's hard. It's not always super glamorous, but you know, pros and cons to everything. Pros and cons to everything. I'm gonna take the shade Fierce on a flat shader. It's more of that Super Shock formula, and I'm going to pack this on the center and inner part of my lid. And then I felt like when I was doing it, I was like, there's just like something, I just want like a little something more. So I grabbed some of Close Up just on the same brush, just on the other side. And I just so lightly sandwiched that between the mattes on the outer part of the eye and then where I was putting that Fierce shade. And then just kind of blended the two together. It's such a subtle thing, but I don't know. I felt like I just needed something right here. Just To wrap up my final thoughts, I truly did not plan to talk about this conversation. I wasn't planning to take it here, but I guess one of the harder things that I've realized about being on the internet in this day of age, and again, I've been doing social media as a career since 2009, so I've seen a lot of change in the industry. One thing that I think is really hard is that everyone wants you to be yourself on the internet, yet at the same time you constantly get judged for being yourself. So it almost makes you, like, I know for me, I've definitely struggled at times with like wanting to almost like be someone else, because at least the internet is judging that persona of me and not actually me, because that hurts worse. But at the same time, I also think because I have been doing this for so long, it's just a second nature to me to be myself on the internet. That's just like how it's always been. But I've definitely struggled with those times of like, if I could just be someone else on the internet, maybe my feelings wouldn't get hurt as much. But you know, it is what it is. All right. I don't know how we got that from favorite makeup look, but number 11 is a favorite drugstore makeup product. I wrote down the CoverGirl concealer and the Milani concealer, because yeah, I love concealers. The e.l.f. Camo concealer, love that one. Those concealers, again, love concealers. But those drugstore ones are just so good, and they all came out around the same time, and I was like, what? These are the bomb.com. Number 12 is your favorite makeup splurge item. So I wrote down either the Charlotte Tilbury wands, because I love the wands, contour wands, highlight wands. The blush wand is my newest purchase in Pinkgasm. They're so expensive, but they're so freaking beautiful, and they make me feel beautiful. A lot of Charlotte Tilbury's line makes me feel beautiful, and I think there's something special in that. But I also wrote down the Armani Beauty Power Fabric Concealer. That is such an expensive concealer, and I went back and forth for a while if I should buy it. But it's so beautiful. It's so lightweight. But good coverage. So easy to, it's the only concealer that I will blend with my fingers. I was traveling a ton at the end of 2019. I would just keep that like in my purse, and I could just add some concealer to my under eyes or wherever I want it, blend it out with my fingers, and it was like, boom. Everything's okay. Take my concealer brush and just kind of clean up the outer part of my eye. Anything underneath that I feel like just needs a little zhuzh action. My eyes are such different shapes and sizes. Sometimes it's so hard making sure that they look the same. 13 is most repurchased makeup products. I wrote down the Benefit brow pencils. I purchased precisely my brow probably the most, but also the ColourPop lip liners. Like, I don't have the same color that I purchased, but I've purchased a lot of ColourPop lip liners. I am going to pop on some lashes. I think I'm going to do some lashes from Nakia Joy today, so let's get those on. Okay, so lashes are on. These are the April lashes from Nakia Joy Cosmetics. I am really feeling on the eye look. Thought it was a great ColourPop palette. You guys know I really like ColourPop palettes for the most part. Sometimes I think their quality can be a little bit inconsistent, but that's, to me, from what I used in the Wild Child, all good here. Number 14 is, what is your earliest makeup memory? I think it would just be playing with my grandma's makeup. Number 15 is, where is your favorite place to shop for makeup? Wherever, you know. Sometimes it's Sephora because they have certain brands that I want, or like their shipping is fast, so that's good. Sometimes it's Ulta because I have my points, or they have certain brands that I want. Or sometimes it's Target. I've really been enjoying my Target runs these days. It's a good beauty section with quite a few brands, so I know no one's judging my hair right now. For my highlight, I'm going to use the one in this Natasha Denona Mini Bronze and Glow with a Sigma Soft Blend 30 brush. I'm just going to add a little bit of highlight since I did use the Auric. I really don't feel like I need all that much extra highlight, so I'm just going to add on a little bit here. We're almost done with the questions though. So number 16. Oh yes, this ties in nicely. What is the most underrated product you own? This is why I have this one sitting next to my desk. I feel like there was a few things that I could have said for this particular one, but look, like, can you see how dirty that is? And I'm very light-handed. You guys know a lot of my makeup looks like I barely use it. because I'm so light-handed, but this palette literally goes everywhere with me. When it comes to Natasha Denona, like everyone talks about her eyeshadow palettes and also like the bigger duos, but you know that I love minis, and this one, big favorite. Question number 17 is, what is the most overrated product I own? So I feel like when it came to overrated and I was looking through my collection, I feel like a lot of products that I feel like are overrated in a sense of like, I don't like these, I have decluttered, since again, I have a better mindset with declutters. So I don't keep around a ton of products, but this one, I like it, like I've still kept it, but I do find it to be a little bit overrated. I know everyone's coming for me right now. This is the Anastasia Amrezy highlight. Don't hate me. It's nice. Like I like it. I've kept it through the declutters. I thought about putting this on instead of the Natasha, but again, I like the Natasha better. But this one got like a ton of hype, and I'm like, it's okay. For my lips, I'm not exactly sure how this combo is gonna work. We might have to do a little fiddly diddling here, but I want to use the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude lip crayon. I have the shade Dana, but NARS sent over some of their Air Matte lip colors, and this one is in All Yours. I almost read the number at the bottom. Amazing. This one is in All Yours. There wasn't really, like, this is the most nude that they sent. Like, they sent some brighter colors. Like, the Natasha Denona is a pretty dark lip liner, so I'm gonna try to do like some mixing and matching to see if, I don't know if this is gonna turn out okay, but you know what? Let's just give it a shot. All right, so I lined and filled in with the lip liner. I really like the Natasha lip liners. Again, the review will be in my ranking video. So I'm gonna try to add some of All Yours, maybe focusing this like on the center for a little pop, like so. Kind of nervous. Take my finger and just kind of under, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of like that ombre, you know, like that ombre love look. I did it again. Can you understand me when I'm doing that? I like that. I like that. That worked out how I wanted it to in my head. I feel like it actually worked out. That doesn't always happen. That doesn't always happen. So that's pretty exciting. Okay, let's keep going because we only have a few questions left. Number 18, what discontinued product do you wish would come back? The CoverGirl Healthy Vitalist Foundation. That was here for like 5 seconds and it was gone. And it was one of my absolute favorite, especially drugstore foundations, but just foundations in general. That one was so good. They literally discontinued it in 5 minutes and then came out with their clean milk whatever. That gave me a reaction. I was very upset about that. Ours has kind of that powdery feeling. Again, I mean, I really layered it with the Natasha, so it's gonna be kind of hard to say on its own. It has a little bit more, almost like that MAC Powder Kiss type of vibe to it. But it also feels very soft, I will say. It feels very soft on my lips, so we'll see how it goes. Number 20 is, what do you hope to see less of in the makeup future? I wrote down makeup shaming. I mean, I feel like I kind of touched on that earlier, but shaming people, not only just makeup skills, but just if you don't like a particular makeup look. Like, makeup washes off at the end of the day. It's not that deep. I cannot figure out makeup shaming to save my life. And number 21 is, what do you hope to see more of in the makeup future? I wrote down inclusivity in all different types of ways, whether it comes from diversity with skin tones and seeing more representation across campaigns and photos, shades, eyeshadow shades being able to be more inclusive, that sort of thing, but also age, like seeing more age represented in beauty. I think Charlotte Tilbury is one of the very few brands I can think of off the top of my head that includes older models than age 25 in her campaigns. Something like skin, when we look at beauty campaigns, it's always this airbrushed, photoshopped perfection. Sometimes when I look at beauty campaigns or when I look at skincare campaigns, I don't see real skin. It's not there. I just think as social media, technology, all of those things, like as we're breaking down more and more barriers, sometimes it seems like every day. Those are just a few things that I wish to see more of in the makeup and beauty industry as we move forward. So those are the 21 questions. Thank you so much to Allie for coming up with those fun ones. I hope that you enjoyed hearing all of my answers to them. And here is my final look. I feel like everything went really smoothly. I like how all of this came out. I really do like the eyes. I'm very impressed with that eyeshadow palette. I'm really feeling on the eyes. I feel like I have my glowy skin going on thanks to the Auric. Really like the way my lips are looking. I liked the cheek products that I tried. I feel like I do see a little bit of like lifting here. And I'm telling you guys, like when I use cream products, it just seems like this always happens. So I feel like this side isn't too bad, but like over here, I don't know. So far so good with everything that I tried. I really like how this look came out. Again, I'll come back in a few weeks to review everything that I've been trying out. But thank you again to Allie for such a fun tag. Thank you for tagging me in your video to do this. I hope you enjoyed it. All of the products that I use will be linked down below, of course, in case you're interested in trying anything out. Other than that, if you enjoyed this one, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. I hope you also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.